Okay, good. Well, today we're going to work in something kind of short. It's going to be an easy class, no worries. So we're going to start with two different questions. Ready? Well, we have a timeline, which is of course a line which represents our lives. Here we have the present, what it's the present here in which we are, yeah. But also, of course, that we have the past and the future. Yes, so of course, everything which is behind the present, it's going to be part of the past, and everything that is forward to the present, of course, is part of the future. No, so those are the three tenses that we usually use, or we are talking in present, or in past, or in future, right? This is something that we know before. Now, today I'm going to start the class with two different questions. The first question is, what has been the most important historical moment for you until this moment? What has been the most important historical moment in your perception?
Mm, good question. Mm, a ver, yo pienso. Mm,
I don't know, maybe something related to your job, maybe something, I don't know. What do you think?
teacher, maybe the most important historical moment for me was uh, mm, when uh, when I received my apartment, maybe
Okay. When was that?
in 20, 2020.
In 2020. Okay, good, very good. Congratulations on that. Very good. Okay, well, I received, for example, that's an important moment also. I received mine in 2021. In 2021, I received my apartment. Both, of course, it was great. But if we talk about other moments, like maybe like not related to your life, but related to the history of the word. For example, in my case, I would say that the most, probably the one of the most important moments in my life or in history, yes, I think that it was the creation of the World Wide Web. Yeah, so the creation of the World Wide Web, which it's basically the internet, no? So the triple W, the www, it was created, but I am not sure specifically the year, but probably that was one of the most important moments in history for me, no, for in my perception. What about for you? Do you have any ideas?
Mm, other important historical moment.
Yeah, but if you have one idea.
Mm, when I was graduated as
Okay, Andre, but when I mean historical moment, it's like not of your history, but of the history of the word,
okay,
historical
okay,
moment,
okay.
like
Mm, maybe for me one historical moment in the world it was uh, when it was signed the first treaty of environmental
yeah,
about
okay.
environmental in
Yeah,
general.
like that one was in Tokyo? No, where was that?
No, in Stockholm.
Ah, in Stockholm, yes, the one in Sweden. Yes, exactly. When specifically was that, my dear Andre? When was that? Do you remember?
Uh, Come teacher.
Do you remember when was that?
Yes, in 19 uh, 92.
Oh, okay. Well, in the year when I was born. Okay, so in 1992, it was the first treat or
Environmental treaty.
environmental treat. Okay, treat. Okay,
for
good, very
me.
good. Yeah, of course, no, that's important for you because you are an environmental engineer, no? So exactly like that. Well, of course, in this case, we're talking about specific moments of the past that were very important in our lives. The moment when we receive our apartments, the moment when something important for your career happened, the moment when the internet was created or was like finished, no? And the next question is like, what is the most important historical event still forthcoming? No, like, what do you think that it's going to be the most important historical event in the future? Of course, in that moment, we are not sure about the moment because it's only a prediction. But for example, I probably think that one day, I don't know when, but one day, the cure of yes, the cure for cancer will be found. I would say will be found. Yeah, probably. I don't know specifically when, probably in 50 years or something like that, but the cure for cancer will be found. I hope so. That is something that I hope. What about you? What would be that historical moment in the future that you're expecting for?
Teacher, maybe when we will not depend of the uh, conventional energies.
Okay, we will not depend on conventional types of energy. Conventional types of energy. Muy bien, very good. So probably we will depend on the solar energy or something like that.
Yes.
Or Mhm. Okay, very good. Andre, do you have any approximate idea when can that happen, or it's open? No idea.
No idea, teacher.
No idea. It's open. Very good. So today we're going to be focusing on these two parts, on the past and the future. Ready? This class is going to be about the past and the future, but from a different perspective. When we talk about the past, it's easy because we know I did, I was doing, I had done. So we have the past perfect, the past continuous, the past simple, easy. And when we talk about the future, basically it's the same. We have the future perfect, the future simple, and the future continuous, no? When we talk about the past simple, present, and continuous, it's easy because we know, okay, with had, with was, were, and the verb past participle in ing. But today we're going to focus especially on the times of the time expressions for the past. Ready? We're going to have a lot of time adverbs for the past, but we're going to see how can we use it. Ready? So let's start by talking about the, yes, the past. So my God, sorry. The expressions of time are going to depend on my intention. I have a lot of different adverbs of time. I have, for example, in, from, for, or for about, last, during, to, on, and ago. Actually, we're going to work in pairs, no? So they come in pairs, right? For example, we have the expression in, which is working with numbers, especially with years, no? So we have here in and during. Both of them are going to work with years, yes, or decades. But the difference is the kind of action that I am expressing with each one. When I express an action with in, is an action that it was instant, something that happened immediately, and that's it. When I use an expression with during, it's something that probably lasted a little bit more, but inside the same year. For example, no sé, let's see. I received I received my apartment, my apartment in 2021, right? But I also could say, for example, I did all the paperwork. Do you know what is the meaning of paperwork?
I don't know. Como la tesis o algo así.
Bueno, like in that case, like the paper, the final paper es el paper de graduación, pero paperwork, it means como el papeleo, you know?
Ah, ok.
So I did all the paperwork during 2021. The year is the same, the time expression is the same, but the adverb is not the same. Why not? Because the action is not the same. When I say I received my apartment, it's an action that happened and that's it. The previous owner told me, vea, Leonardo, tome las llaves. And in that moment, I received my apartment. It was in a specific moment. When I talk about did all the paperwork, yeah, it's a process that happened inside 1 year, in the same year, but it was during one part of the year. So when I use during, yeah, it's for years, but it's for an action that probably lasted some other time. Ready, Andre? Yes.
Yes, teacher.
So that was our first couple of expressions. Then we are going to have two expressions which are going to be very important. The first one is the expression ago, and the second one is the expression last. Yeah, so here we're going to have two expressions that are talking about a past action, of course, in the past, but they are going to mention one specific detail. They have what they want to express is when the action happened. Ready? It's an action that is already finished. But ago is going to be the quantity of time from the present until the moment when that action happened. For example, you said that you received your apartment in 2020. In 2020, and now we're in 2023, it could be that you received your apartment 3 years ago, right? When I
It's
have
more
a,
common.
yeah,
It's
it's
more
very,
common that expression.
yeah, of course. Like it's you received your apartment 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago, or well, no, it's also possible to say in 2020. The thing is that, as I told you, depends on your intention. Lo que quieras, what is your intention? ¿Qué quieres enfatizar? ¿El periodo de tiempo o específicamente el año? Entonces, depende si quieres enfatizar una o la otra, pues vas a usar una expresión o la otra. ¿Ready? ¿Ya? Pero ambas son posibles. Both are possible. ¿Mm? So the ago is going to be possible to express quantity of time. How much time has passed from that moment until now, until the present? How much time has passed? All right. And when we use last, we're going to mention also something similar, but expressing only with the previous specific point. For example, I received my apartment last 2020. Yes, o sea, el pasado 2020. Yes, or specifically with more specific moments like last weekend, last year, last Monday, last month, last Christmas. So with specific moments. I don't want to express quantity of time, no quiero expresar cuánto tiempo, sino quiero decir el pasado and tan, the moment specifically with that. Ready?
Yes, teacher.
So, exactly, good. It's similar to in, but in that case, expressing that it's específicamente el pasado. That's it. Pero it's an specific. Ready? Bueno, my dear. Then we are going to have other expressions that are in couple, which are from and to. Different from the previous expressions, when I use from and to, I am talking about a long action that I did in the past. Pardon. For example, Andre, where did you study environmental engineering? In what university?
University of Antioquia.
In the University of Antioquia. I suppose that you studied for almost 5 years, 6 years, more or less.
8 years.
8 years, okay, which is engineering. It's a difficult career. When did you start, Andre? In what year did you start?
In, in 2009.
Okay, 2009, exactly. Very good. So you finished in 2017? No, 16?
Mm, 15.
15. Okay, got it. Very good. Okay, it was only, well, the first, you started in 2009 1 in the first semester of the year.
Yes.
Okay, so 8 years. So in that case, when I use from and to, I am going to mention a long action. From, it's for the first point from the beginning of the action, and to, it's going to be for the end of the action. So in that case, I could say that Andrea studied environmental engineering from 2009 to 2015 in the University of Antioch. Right?
Okay.
So from two, it's going to be easy because it shows me the moment when I started the action and the moment when I finished the action. Right?
Yes.
Questions there, difficulties there?
No.
No, easy, very good. Bueno, then we are going to have other expression. In this case, it comes along is the expression for. For, it's going to talk about also an action which is long. But in that case, it's similar to ago because it's going to talk about a quantity of time that happened or that passed from the beginning of the action until the end of the action. So in that case, I could say, for example, that you studied engineering for 8 years, not until the present, but from the moment when you started
Teacher,
until the.
I did mistake.
Why?
Que pensé que me estabas preguntando que hacía cuánto me había graduado, pero me estabas preguntando fue cuánto tiempo y fueron 6 años.
Ah, sí, sí, 6 años, yes, of course, muy bien. Entonces, very good. You studied for 6 years. That is the amount of time from the moment when you started, 2009, until 2015, it was 6 years, right? For example, I also graduated in the 2015, but I started in 2010. So I studied my career for 5 years, right? So easily like that, for, it's going to help me to describe that moment, a longer action in the past, which is like, the quantity of time. If I am not completely sure, I can complete it using for about, which is like por alrededor de. I am not exactly sure how much time, but for example, I could say that long time ago when I was a baby, I lived in Suacha for about probably 2 years, something like that. I am just, like surrounding the number. I am not exactly true. So in that case, I can express for if I am completely sure or for about when I am trying to guess. Okay, Andres, great.
Okay, teacher.
Hasta ahí, honey. Any questions about the expressions of time?
No, teacher, is clear.
It's clear. So when you describe one action, whatever the action is in the past, you have many different options to describe to introduce the time using the expression that you prefer. If you want to use in, ago, during, it depends on you. Ready? So it depends completely on you or on your intention, as I said before. No, so if you want to express the duration of the action, you use some expressions. If you want to express the moment when I started the action, you use some expressions, right? So the idea is that depends on you. You are going to use one action or the other. Ready? For example, my dear
Okay,
Andrea,
teacher.
when did you become wait a second, you have a child, right?
No, teacher, no.
Oh, you have no child. Wait a second. So then let's start. When did you get your current job? Current it means actual. So when did you get your current job?
Teacher, my current job, uh, mm, I got, yes, yes,
Yes.
I got, um, I got it 3 months ago.
Okay, it's recent. It is a new
Yes,
job.
yes.
Very good. So I got it 3 months ago. So you are mentioning how much time has passed from the moment that it started until now. It's 3 months ago. Very good. That's it. Ready? Or for example, I got it in May. No, okay. June, May? No, May.
June, June.
June. Okay. Very good. So you could say, I got it in June, or I got it last June. Okay, very good. Perfect. Yes. So how much time? Well, antes de eso, before that job, were you unemployed? Were you unemployed?
Yes, yes.
How much time? How much time were you unemployed? Shoot. How much time were you unemployed?
Mm, 1 month, for 1 month.
Exactly. So I was unemployed for 1 month. O sea, you could use that expression for saying like, okay, específicamente por un mes. Or you could say, sure, I was unemployed from March to April, or from April to May. That's it, ready? Using
Okay.
from and to. It's another possibility. También podrías usarlo, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So in that case, depends entirely on your intention. What do you want to do with the language? That's what is going to determine if you use a go, last, from, to, for. Depends on you. ¿Listo? Bueno, my dear. So over here we have some examples. Ready? For example, I have that the World Trade Center attack and the year was 2001. How could you describe that historical event using specifically 2001?
What expression?
Yeah, with what
What
expression?
adverb?
Uh-huh.
World Trade Center attacked the last 21, maybe.
Okay, could be. So World Trade Center attacked
Or
happened.
in 20.
Yeah, better. Uh-huh. So World Trade Center attack happened or was, ¿no? Como fue in 2001 because it's a specific year. And this attack, it is something that happened in 1 second and that's it. Muy bien, very good. Similar as Bogotazo, no? So the Bogota, okay, Bogotazo was for some different days, no? Like 3 or 4 days of complete violence. So in that case, I could say, for example, that Bogotazo happened. What do you think? What would be the expression? It was like 3 or 4 days of violence.
Uh, Teacher, what happened in Bogota?
In Bogota,
I don't
so
know.
it happens when I forgot the name of the man. Well, one man killed Gaitán, Jorge Eliezer Gaitán, was killed that day.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but after
I
that,
don't know.
that happened in 1948. Yes, the murder was in 1948. But the Bogotazo happened during or for 5 days because the whole city was completely destroyed, war, killing, was a complete disaster. So, okay.
Okay.
Mm. Bueno, I get. What
Mm,
about in the expression number
the
three? Yes.
Bogotazo, the
Dale, dale, go, please.
Bogotazo was during 1948.
Wonderful. If I am going to use the year, yes, specifically the year, I could say that Bogota was during 1948 because it was not one moment. It was like several days that the action happened. Very good. During 1948. Ready? In number three, I am describing that the Berlin's wall, o sea, el muro de Berlín, was turned down. O sea, turned down, it means like, how did you say that? Derrumbado. Yes. But it took 2 years to complete the process. So in that case, I have the year of the beginning and the year of the end. How can I describe that? The Berlin Wall was turned down.
The Berlin's walls was torn down from 1990, 19, to 1992.
Exactly like that, from 1990 to 1992. Yeah, the same, for example, with example number five. The airplane was perfected from 1903 to 1905. Yes. With here, it's like the car was invented, but it was not only 1 year, no, so only one day, and that's it. It was a process. So, as you said, the car was invented during 1886 because it was a whole process of invention, no. Over here, we're describing also the process, but we have the amount of time. We said 30 years. If I have the amount of time, the quantity of time, what would be the expression?
Internet is developed 30 years ago.
Exactly, because it's the moment when the action happened was 30 years into the past. So in that case, internet was developed 30 years ago. That's it. Very good. Ready? Now, the last one. The first iPhone appeared in 2007. Easy. No? So if
Yes.
I want to express how much time has passed from the present until that moment, what expression can I use?
¿Cómo, teacher?
If I want to express how much time has passed from that moment, from 2007 until now, until the present, what expression can I use?
Uh, teacher, maybe from and to.
Not really, because the action is already finished. That's it, no? But I want to express how much time from the moment, I mean, from this moment until that moment, similar to the one of the internet. From
I don't know, teacher.
2007 to 2023, how much time is that?
Uh, 13 years.
I think 16, right? Isn't it? 16, right? 16 years. Yes? No?
No, 13.
Really? Oh, my mathematics is horrible.
Ah, sí, sí, sí.
16, yes? 13.
Yes.
Well, 16 years. So in that case, my dear, 16 years came. The iPhone appeared 16 years
Ago.
ago. Very good. It's the amount of time from that moment until the present. From that moment until now. Ready? So 16 years ago. Muy bien. Very good. ¿Listo? André, hasta ahí, ¿cómo vas con las expresiones del pasado? Easy. Questions, problems?
Good teacher.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, segura question. I don't feel you very convinced, ¿no? Todo bien.
No me genera confusión, es como qué poner antes de for, qué poner antes de, pero no siempre pues se coloca algo.
Ah, ok, o sea, como la expresión completa, ¿right?
Ajá,
Ok, no, esas expresiones igual siempre hacen parte del complemento. Entonces, antes, pues voy a usar un verbo en pasado, o sea, como
sí, sí.
describiendo lo que sucedió y ya esto hace parte simplemente del complemento, o sea, siempre va a estar al final, ¿right?
Ok.
Bueno, my dear. So that was answering our first question, no? So the first question, which was what was the most important historical moment? So we saw the creation of the World Wide Web, the destruction of the World Trade Center, the destruction of the Berlin's Wall, so on, so on. Now we're going to look into our future and we're going to try to predict sometimes about the future. As it is prediction, well, you know that with future, we have two possibilities, that it's going to and will. But here we have one expression that is what will the future hold? Hold, it means like que nos depara, ¿no? Como que nos guarda o que nos mantiene el futuro. So, what will the future hold? We use it specifically with will because in this case, I am talking about predictions. It's nothing secure. It's only a prediction. It's only a possibility. When we talk about possibilities into the future, of course, we're going to use the modal verb will because it's something that is not completely determined. It's only a possibility. As for example, we talk about here, like it's a possibility that they find the cure for cancer, but it's only a possibility. It's a possibility that we start using other different, no, start not, that we change completely to the other types of energy. It's a possibility. It's not sure, but it's a possibility, right? So in that case, that's why we use will and not going to, because the future, it's a prediction with will, ready? So in that case, we're going to have to see that we have different kinds of future. We have three different kinds of future. The future simple, the future continuous, and the future perfect. The future simple is the ones that we always have, that we always use. That it simply will and the verb infinitive. Will go, will have, will do, will so on. In that case, we have a moment into the future, yes, Like, for example, in 2025, it's looking into the future, yes? Or, for example, in 2 years more, in 2 years, right? It's looking into the future. And in that case, is saying, right, that something will happen specifically on that moment. For example, I will get a new job in 2025. It's not before, it's not after, it's specifically on that year. Because in 2025, I will have completed 10 years in my job, in working in Smart. So I decided that when I complete 10 years, I will change my job. Well, it's an example, it's not real. But I will get a new job in 2025 because that's the year in which I complete 10 years with the company. So I will get a new job. It's not before, it's not after, it's specifically on that moment. It's future simple. So will and the verb in infinitive form. That's it. ¿Mm? Es el que usamos siempre. Difficulties, questions, or it's clear, my dear?
It's clear, teacher.
In the second part, we have another one. This is the future continuous. It's composed by will, be, and the verb in ing. Ese be siempre será be, porque es en infinitivo. So, I will be working, I will be traveling, I will be doing, I will be, and something like that. In that case, what I want to express is that in the same moment, let's say in 2 years or in 2025, something will be happening, but the action is similar, as I told you, an action that is not specific, it's not immediate, and that's it, but it's a long action. For example, work, for example, study, for example, live, for example, travel, that are actions that are very, very long. Yes. So in that case, I cannot use present continuous because the action is not going to happen only here, but will be happening for some time. The action is going to start before and is going to finish later. Yes. In that moment, I just want to express that the action will be happening, but the action is not going to start there and is not going to finish there. It starts before and finishes after. Ready? So in that case, the idea is that we're going to express things that will be happening. For example, again, in 2025, I will be, oh my God, wait, I will be living with my wife, you know? I think it's already time, maybe probably in the next year or something like that, probably in 2024, we move together. And by that moment, by the year of 2025, we will be living together with my wife. Ready? It's a process because I don't live one day and no more. I live every day. It's something that never stops. So that's why it's a longer action and we use the future continuous. Okay, Andre, good.
Yes, teacher.
Mhm. So that's the second future. And the future number three, it's a little bit different. It's going to be the future perfect. The future perfect is going to express first a limit of time. When I say the future expression, I don't say in, but I say by and the year, yes, or within and the quantity of years. For example, by 2025, or specifically by December of 2025. It means within 2 years. Entre, o dos, yes, dentro de 2 años, within 2 years, right? The expressions are different. Why? Because when I use future perfect, I don't want to express that the action will happen in that moment. No, that moment is only a limit of time. Es únicamente un límite de tiempo. But the action can happen in any moment from the present until that time. So the action will have finished or will have happened before the limit of time. So when I say by December of 2025, it's the action that will happen before December of 2025. Or within 2 years is an action that will have happened before 2 years, right? So maybe it can happen here, maybe it can happen here, maybe it can happen here. We don't know. Specifically, we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but we know that is before the limit of time. For example, by December of 2025, I will, bueno, the creation is will, have, and the verb in past participle. Yes, I will have changed my motorcycle. Maybe I will have changed I will have bought a car probably, but it's definite that by December of that year, I will have changed my motorcycle. Okay, so in that case, probably I am going to buy it the next year, maybe, or maybe in 2 years, maybe on January of 2025. I don't know specifically when, but I know that by December of the year 2025, this action will have already happened. Yes, so when I say will have and the verb in past participle is like habremos, and the verb in past participle. ¿Listo? It's a little bit different from the present, from the future continuous and simple, because it's not in the future, but it's something that can happen before the limit of time in the future. Andre, ¿cómo vas? Good questions, difficulties there?
Good teacher. For example, when I want to say mm, one thing that I don't know when exactly,
Exactly, my dear.
uh, I can use future continuous.
Future perfect, better.
Okay.
Yes? Because, well, let's go with examples now. For example, you told me, teacher, in the future, somebody, well, I said, somebody will find the cure of cancer. That is sure. But I don't know specifically when. I think that within within 50 years, creo que dentro de 50 años ya. So I think so, ¿no? Within 50 years, someone, o sea, alguien, no sé, one scientist, will have found the cure of cancer. ¿Cuándo? No sé, maybe in 20 years, maybe in 45 years, maybe in 35 years, maybe tomorrow. We don't know. Specifically, we know that we have like a deadline, un plazo de 50 years in that case, no? For example. So within 50 years, someone will have found the cure of cancer. It's a possibility. Yes. In that
Teacher,
case,
for example,
yes.
when I want say or to express wish, uh, someday I want to have financial independence. I don't know, but I don't know when.
Okay, good. Well, you could say depending on that, because when I use future perfect is because the action is finished, o sea, la acción ya habrá finalizado, ¿no? Cuando digo within 50 years, someone will have found the cure of cancer, no es que la vayan a encontrar en 50 años, sino que dentro de 50 años ya la habrán encontrado, o sea, la acción ya habrá
O
acabado,
sea, de aquí a 50 años.
pero la acción ya habrá acabado, ya habrá finalizado.
Sí,
Pero
sí.
digamos que cuando dices como no, ya tendré una vida financiera estable o independiente, pues es algo que todavía vas a tener, ¿yes? No habrá acabado, sino que pues
Ajá,
ya, de pronto podría decir como ya me habré liberado, por ejemplo, o ya me habré retirado de mi
sí,
trabajo, por ejemplo, right?
ajá.
Entonces, dependiendo de si quieres decir como habré hecho, habré terminado, habré finalizado, future perfect. Yes. If you say estaré trabajando, estaré haciendo, estaré viviendo, estaré comiendo, estaré viajando, future continuous.
Conti-
Ajá. Y future simple, haré, comeré, tendré, haré, trabajaré, viajaré, conseguiré, cha, cha, cha. All of that is future simple.
But
Right?
in future simple, always I say which moment.
No, I can say somewhere,
Okay,
like oh my God, somewhere in the future. Somewhere in the future, como en algún momento del futuro, o I can say in a near future, o in a far future, en un futuro cercano, en un futuro lejano. Yeah, no hay. Ready?
okay, teacher.
Mhm. So that's the idea. That's the difference here because of course we have different moments for using each one. Yes. For example, with the example that you said about using the different types of energy. Every day we use energy for all different kinds of things, for the house, for the car, for everything, right? So it's going to be a process into the future that we don't know specifically when it's going to start, but you think that somewhere in the future we different types of energy. What do you think, Andre? What would be the tense, taking into account that using energy, it's a process that happens every day. So what do you think?
Teacher, the future continues.
O sea, we
We will using.
will be, always with be,
Okay, we will be using
different types of
different
energy.
types of energy.
Because it's going to be a process every day. But I can, oh my God, I can adopt that expression from a different perspective. For example, the same, in the future, we, mm, 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 the old or the common conventional, the conventional, sorry, types of energy. How could I say that? Si estaremos usando tipos diferentes, o sea, supongo que we, the conventional type of energy. What do you think?
Teacher, we will mm, mm, not use.
Okay, I can say we will not use the conventional type of energy. Good, yes. But I can say, how could you say habremos cambiado
Dejado de usar.
o habremos dejado de usar? También puedes decir, habremos dejado de usar o habremos cambiado. How would you say that?
Okay. So imperfect. Uh, we will have changed.
Exactly, very good. So in the future, we don't know specifically when, but we will have changed the conventional types of energy. Very good. So we will be using different types of energy. So the idea of talking about the future is that where we can do it with different expressions, no? Because we have different kinds of predictions. Some of them are long actions, some of them are actions specifically in a moment, some of them are actions that can happen before another limit in the time. Ready? So the question is pretty simple for you, my dear Andre. How do you see how do you see yourself, of course, in 10 years? How do you see yourself in 10 years? For example, in my case, I think that within 10 years, I will have had a child. Probably one child, let's say just one, ready? So I will have had a child, and I know that I will be living with my child, and I don't know if with my wife or not, but with my child, yes. So I will be living with my child and probably with my wife too. Ready? And I hope that in 10 years I will travel to Europe, possibly. Maybe somewhere in the future I will travel to Europe, probably in 10 years while I finish to pay my apartment and everything. Probably in 10 years I will travel to Europe. Ready? So that's how I see myself in 10 years. What about you, Andre? How do you see yourself?
Mm, Teacher, in 10 years, I think that I will I will be mm, traveling maybe. Uh, Maybe I will have a a land with many animals.
Okay, good, pretty good.
I like the animals. And I will have a independence, finance,
Financial independence.
financial independence
Good, very
is the
good.
most important for me.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
necessary for the farm, no?
yes, I don't want to work for other people in
Uh-huh.
the future.
Okay, very good. Important, super important. Very good. My dear Andre, in the farm, well, you're going to have different kinds of animals, but I would like to know what animals will you have gotten or what animals will you have brought to the farm?
Teacher, I want to have dogs and cats.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
Also horse, uh, maybe chickens. Is correct, chickens.
Yeah, chickens, yes. Mhm.
Mm, I don't know.
Maybe what? Sorry, maybe.
Maybe mm, rescued animals,
What do you mean by rescued? Ah, rescued animals,
como
rescued.
rescatadas.
Yeah, well, those are, they are called stray animals.
Ah, okay.
Bueno, creo que stray son como los que están en la calle. Tú ya vas a recoger los que ya están recogidos, right? Yes. Stray animals
Yes.
also, yes. Mhm. Muy bien, very good. Excellent. ¿Listo? And question, final question, my dear Andrea. Do you think, or it's a possibility that will you have gotten married by the year 2033? Will you have gotten married?
I don't know, teacher. uh, in this moment, I don't want that. By in the future, I don't know.
No idea. Yes.
It's difficult.
Okay, very good. What about having kids? The same? No idea?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, very good. Bueno, my dear Andre, very, very, very good. So in that case, when you talk about your those predictions, you have the possibility, because it's not an obligation, you have the possibility to use the three different futures depending on your intention. If you want to use future continuous for a long action, future simple for a specific action in the future, and future perfect for something that will have finished before the limit of time in the future. No? So specifically, we don't know when, but it's before the limit of time. That's going to be with future perfect. Ready? And on the other hand, also you have the different adverbs of time in order for talking you about your past. Again, depending on your intention, you have the possibility to use in, on, from, to, ago, last, all of them. Ah, I forgot to use on. I'm so sorry. I forgot to use on. On, different from in, it's for complete dates. O sea, on month, day, and year. In is only with the year, that's it, no? But on, for example, here, the two airplanes crashed against the World Trade Center on September 11th of 2001. Month, day, and year. Ready? Different from in that it's only with year. So you can use any of these expressions talking about your past depending on your intention. And the same with the future, depending on your intention, you can use it for talking about predictions, premonitions, goals in the future too. So that's it. Questions, Andre, difficulties, my dear, problems?
No, teacher. For me, it's more easy the future.
Okay, the future is easy, right? Okay, my dear. So, well, in that case, you just have to practice a little bit the verbs in past, like
Yes,
practicing,
teacher.
practicing, practicing. Recommendation, try to write, or if you want to record yourself, talking about your goals into the future. Try to imagine yourself into the future and record your goals for yourself, not for me, for yourself. And then listen to yourself and say, like, sí, sí, me salió bien. Or no, maybe I need to change my pronunciation. Tú ya puedes, digamos, como identificar si es una buena o una mala pronunciación, o si el verbo está bien, o si se entendió, o si de pronto no se entendió también, right? So in that case, you can already identify that. So it's a good idea to record yourself and then listen sometime after to say like, yeah, I understand myself, or no, I have no idea what I'm saying. It's a good idea to do that exercise. Okay, Andre?
Okay, teacher. It's a good recommendation.
It's a good recommendation. Bueno, my dear Andres, so for the moment, that's it. See you the next week in the class number 6. It's a little bit extensive, but bueno, okay, let's hope that we have enough time. Ready? So see you then. Nothing, have a good weekend. Enjoy. We have holidays, so enjoy, travel, do something nice.
Teacher, thank you very much.
No, thanks to you, my dear.
Good
Goodbye.
night, teacher.
Good night, honey. See you later.